Is it working?
Now it's working.
I just want to ask you guys one thing. If I was gone, would Pete be standing up here doing this? No. But I'm big mouth of the family. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you just said you were quiet.
I am. Okay, first I want to start out by thanking everybody. It was rough, guys. It was really rough. But he fought a good fight right up to the end. I wasn't strong enough to take care of him. So I have these two twins that live in my mom's house. And when he would go down, they would come out and pick him up for me and send him back up on the couch. But he had that Keesee blood in him. And he said, I'm fine, I'll get up. And I want to start out by thanking Lance and Tracy. Putting this together. You did an awesome job. And I want to thank Jimmy and the boys, and they know who they are, for the food, for coming all the way down here from Jeremy. Called me on the phone and he said, and I didn't know who it was, and I called back and I said, is this Jeremy? And he said, yeah, it's Jeremy. And I said, are you coming out? And he said, Aunt Cherie, I wouldn't miss this for the world. And where's he at? I thank him when he came out, because he meant a lot to Uncle Pete and me. And then I want to thank my son Dan, for opening up his house for the people that needed a place to stay. He made us all real welcome out there, and I really appreciate that. And I'd like to thank my daughter-in-law Lisa, wherever she's at. She called me and said, how's he doing? I wants to know. I said, well, he's not doing very well. And she said, okay, I'll come up and check. So she came up, she sat with him, and she went and bought him a bottle of Gatorade. And she said, Pete, you gotta drink this. He didn't want to, but she got him to drink it. And then I kept saying, a few days went by, and as you guys all know, his heart monitor hit him 5 times to bring him back. Took him down hard, and he said, I don't think this thing's working right. I said, yeah, it's working right. And he said, no, I don't think so. He said, you better call somebody. And I said, well, who am I going to call? He said, well, I don't know, but you need to call somebody. So then he said, no, I'll make it till morning and we'll go out to the cardiologist. So the next morning came and I called the cardiologist and they said, yeah, bring him out right away. So I took him out and she said, well, it doesn't seem too bad. She said, we'll put him on some other medication and he'll probably be all right. The next morning I get a call and she said, Cherie, she said, I got bad news for you. And I said, what's that? And she said, your husband's at the end of his life. So you need to get prepared because it's coming. Well, you're never prepared for that. I don't care how much you think you are. When you hear those words, it was tough. So then they said, bring hospice in. So I called around for hospice, which I didn't need to do. I didn't know that. And they came, and that Keesee blood come out again. I don't need you guys here. I'll let you know when I need you. I don't need you now. So then the next, he got a little bit better, and then his grandson Des called. He said, I want to come down and see you, Grandpa. He said, no, you don't need to come down here right now. Just wait till I get better. I'm going to get better, and you come down then. And Tracy said, Des isn't going to do that. He's going to come now. So you guys all know the Keesee again. Boy, I got it. We're telling everybody they can come. So then time went by and it just got, he didn't get better, but he didn't want people to see him. And then his sisters called, they wanted to see him, and he said, no, I'm going to get better. You guys can come and see me, we're going to get better. So then he started failing real fast, and I said, Pete, do you want me to call 911? No, you don't need to call 911. I'll tell you when you need to call 911. The girls come out to help him, and he said, Cherie's being nothing but a bummer. I'm going to be all right. So he's still going to be all right. So I could see that he was failing fast, so I called 911. And they came and got him. Went out to the hospital. And I went out, and they wouldn't let me in the emergency room in the intensive care both, so I chose to go to intensive care. And we could only go one at a time. So I went the first day, and then Tracy went the next day. And I went in, one of those days I went in and I said, Peter, I'm here. I leaned down, kissed him on the forehead, and grabbed his hand. There wasn't much hand left, but he squeezed it as hard as he could. And then I walked out, and then I think it was the next day, Tracy went out, and in the night, I told them they could call me anytime, day or night. So at 2:30 in the morning, my phone rings. It was the hospital, and they said, you need to get out here right away. So I called Lance, and then I called Liz, and Desi was there with me at the house. He said, let's go. We went out to the hospital. We got to see him. Liz came. Desi said, Grandma, we got to let him go now. I said, I'm not ready, Des. And he said, yeah, we've got to. So I said, okay, I got to go out. Liz waited for me. I went out. I wasn't out 2 seconds. The Lord took him home. That was the best thing that happened. And also I got to thank Sharon and Linda and Brett that have been there every day. And if I missed any of you, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to change it up a little and tell you some cute things about Pete. Anybody who knows Pete knows he was one of the most competitive people in the world. He had to do the best at everything he did. We went to the state finals, and we panned out here all the time. We went to the state finals because he was good. So he tells his buddy, BJ, he says, now we got to be up early in the morning because we've got to be early because he could never be late to anything. So we're standing on the sidelines. BJ comes in and he's going into the arena. And Mike Hansen's there and he's going into the arena. Pete and I are standing by each other and Pete's saying, my God, BJ, go in, go in. And I said, Peter, I think you're supposed to be in there. After he had given BJ a ration of it to be on time. Anyone that knows Pete Keesee, you have to be on time. And this was the wrong wife for him, I'm telling you, because I'm never on time for anything. Right, Janie? But we've been all over the West Coast team penning. And I didn't do it, but that was some of the best times of my life. And then another cute one I'll tell you about. He and his brother, we went to the big Red Angus sale in Reno. And out there, I mean, they're big money, big money. So anyway, Bob comes over to Pete and he says, "Hey, Pete," he said, "there's a little calf over there." He said, "I bet we can get it really cheap." Pete said, "Good, let's bid on it." That little calf went for $12,500. This is where we were at. Now, and then back to their hunting, which our son Lance can tell you. They'd go up this rock bluff. It's over in that area, I think. One of the highest places you ever seen in your life. And him and his buddy, they'd go up there. And him and Lance rode up on the motorcycle. We bought a little 50 Honda. They tried to get up that mountain. And Lance would lean over like this when Pete was leaning over. It was worse than if they would have walked. But anyway, that was a cute story that Pete come back and he said, "Next time we're walking."
Bought another motorcycle.
And another cute story is we had some good friends that we ran around over here, and Pete was going to compete over in Klamath Falls, and their daughter lived there, and they said, "Well, you've got to go down and meet Cherie and Pete." And she says, "Well, how am I going to know who Cherie and Pete are?" She said, "I'll tell you." She said, "He's going to be on a buckskin, and she's going to be out there running up and down that arena saying, 'Go, Peter, go, Peter, go, Peter, go.'" She found me. Because there's nobody in this world that supports their kids and their husband in a competitive stuff. I can't do it, but I can sure support you if you're doing it. And then Tracy already put this in that book, but I got to tell you guys, we had a little dog, and we took it up to Uncle Bob's, and it jumped out of the pickup before we got out. It went in the house, and somebody said, they didn't even know we were there. They said, "That's got to be Uncle Pete's dog because no legs and big jaws." And they knew it was his dog. And Lance always said the dog would always tear into the vacuum cleaner, just get mad and tear in that vacuum cleaner. If it fall over and turn on, then he'd really tear into it. And Lance said the only difference between Bud Dog and his dad didn't tear into the vacuum cleaner. Okay, well that's about sums it up. We had some good times. We had some rough times. We had some good times. But I sure thank all of you guys for coming and showing. Thank you.